The Manifesto of the Free Federation. Hi. The nature of morality and the trap of patriotism. Morality is a non-coercive social behavior norm. It is the equilibrium point of long-term interest gains and the social contract of mutual benefit. The fundamental purpose of morality must be the protection of the interests of an individual or a collective. The essence of why your kindness toward others is praised is that the public hopes for the opportunity to benefit from such kindness themselves. There is no social norm in this world that remains regarded as moral if it damages the interests of all participants. However, just as a ruling class can enact laws to protect its privileges, morality can be used as a tool to exploit the ruled and protect only the interests of a powerful few. Patriotism is the quintessential case. IR, the state corporation, a systemic deception. Theoretically, patriotism protects national interest, but when viewed from the perspective of the ruled, the relationship between national interest and public interest is strikingly similar to that between a corporation and its employees. While they share some overlapping interests, their fundamental interests are diametrically opposed. From a corporation's perspective, the goal is to suppress wages and extend working hours, providing only the minimum survival guarantee necessary for you to continue working. From a state's perspective, the ideal public is one that creates value ceaselessly, pays high taxes, demands only life-sustaining welfare, and courageously sacrifices their lives for territorial expansion. Why are employees reluctant to sacrifice themselves for a company? Because the relationship is one of overall opposition with partial overlap. Once shared benefits are removed, the residual value belongs to the actual controller, not the individual. Sacrificing your interest for the company is merely a transfer of your assets to the controller. Unless there is a transparent contract promising equal or greater returns consented to by you, this transfer is pure exploitation, a robbery where a tycoon snatches a slice of bread from your meager lunch just so his yacht can sail for 1 extra millisecond. If forcing sacrifice is robbery, why does the public allow politicians to take the bread from their lunch in the name of national interest without cost, simply to add a footnote to a politician's resume? Why can politicians demand sacrifice without promising returns or offering the option to refuse? How is forcing citizens to participate in wars of aggression different from a capitalist forcing workers into lethal labor? Why do you treat someone reaching for your wallet in the name of a company as an enemy? You welcome it when the entity is the state. Because of patriotism? Because the state cannot fire you? Consider a more brutal example. Imagine a man who establishes a company funded by the workers themselves. He promises never to fire them and provides basic security, but takes a cut for administrative costs. He allows workers to democratically elect managers. However, the contract stipulates that workers must love the company as a family, maintain absolute loyalty, and sacrifice their interests, or even their lives, to defend the company's existence under the guise that they are defending their own interests. He calls this companies. Its real name is the state corporation. Does something feel wrong? This is nothing but modern slavery. This is the clearest manifestation of Tolstoy's observation. Patriotism is slavery. 3. Sovereignty and the property management model. Modern states operate exactly like this. State corporation, using the scheme of patriotism to package the desires of controllers as the aspirations of the citizens. Territorial expansion benefits the controllers. But how does it benefit you? If my neighborhood and the adjacent one use the same property management company, and one day the neighbors switch companies, how am I harmed? Why should I bleed for the loss of a management company's market share? I am not an anarchist. I do not oppose the state itself. My proposition is this. We should treat the state exactly like a property management company. We should not be satisfied merely with electing new managers. We must have the freedom to choose which state protects us, just as we choose a property manager. 4. The proposal. The Free Federation. The 18th century pioneers pointed out the contradictions of patriotism, but lacked a viable alternative. Anarchism has proven to be a harbinger of chaos. I propose a rational construct based on development levels Democratic nations should merge into one or more free federations. Tenancy will no longer be based on the random accidents of blood or birthdays, but on the shared commitment to universal values of liberty. I acknowledge your rights, and in exchange, you and the state acknowledge mine. In this federation, any demand for sacrifice beyond the contract must promise a higher return and grant the individual the right to refuse. The removal of trade barriers could increase per capita GDP by 5% to 30%. 在新英的 EU, merging redundant bureaucracies will save vast amounts of tax revenue to fund defensive collectivism. We will use these savings to provide substantial incentives for voluntary defenders, free warriors, to protect our homes from foreign autocrats. V. Conclusion. Reclaiming sovereignty. The Free Federation will tell every citizen to protect your rights, to ensure your children will never use these tools for a politician's ambition, and to end irrational hatred. Let us unite. Break the shackles of the old world. We unite not for an imagined community, but to reclaim our stolen sovereignty. Truth and reason will triumph over lies and barbarism. The new Free Federation will eliminate hatred